Okay, we got some more eggs, 12 more dozen, and this time I got the extra large. Last time we had the large, which were a little bit smaller than these extra large, but this time when I went to get some more, they were the same price per dozen, so I'm going to go with the extra large. And so each batch is going to be slightly bigger than the previous ones. And this time I'm going to crack them all, put them in a bowl, and then use the little hand blender to blend them up and add the milk. And I'm going to be this set, so 50 eggs in this one, so 10 pans, 10 batches of 5. I'll be back with a bunch of eggs. Got the 50 extra large eggs cracked and into this bowl. That's 2,768 grams. And then I've got the 750 grams of milk that I'm going to add to it. But first, I'm going to blend it a bit with the little hand blender, and then I'll portion it out into the pans. So just under 350 grams for each pan.
For the eggs, the blender seemed to work best at kind of a low speed.
Okay, that looks good. I'm going to add the milk.
All aboard!
All right, and that's it. Now, just going to ladle it into the pans. Then I just need to put 350 grams, or 351, so average 351.8 grams in each. If I go over, it's easy enough to ladle some back out, but I've got a little bit of leeway. All right, so that's ready for the freezer, pre-freeze, and then into the freeze dryer. And I'll tear it for each one because they all weigh a little different. Okay, so that each pan has the equivalent of 5 eggs and 75 grams of the milk. I'm giving each pan a quick spray of cooking, non-stick cooking spray, and then wiping it out so there's just the thinnest film on there. Help release the eggs when they're frozen.
We've been using these pans for many years and freeze drying in them for more than 4.5 years. But it never crossed my mind until just a few weeks ago to spray them when using them for freeze drying.
Okay, and the other pan I'm going to use, or it's the same pans, but I have the divider for the middle of it. That way I can use every inch of the freeze dryer tray and still have these pre-frozen and portioned out in there. So with this, again, tear that out, and now I need half of it on each side, so that's 150, so 175 in each side. So I'll get that right down the middle, and then I need 175, and this is thin enough, it's going to leak back and forth, so it's going to kind of self-level, and if I keep them together, then it's fine. I don't have to worry about any inaccuracy with it. There we go. It gives me 2 half pieces that fills in the tray. Well, sweet. That's pretty darn close. Okay, now these are all going in the freezer for pre-freezing. And the eggs. These are the eggs that have the milk mixed in. So transferring the eggs into the trays. Okay, so again, just popping the edges and pushing up at the bottom, and they fall right out. Come on. There we go.
What a difference a teeny bit of cooking spray makes.
Okay.
Yes, I am drilling a hole in the frozen eggs.
I like that a little bit better. All right, and thermometers in the eggs. Because inquiring minds want to know. All right. And another one ready for the freeze dryer.
By this point, the freeze dryer's already been pre-freezing for a couple hours and is more than 40 below zero.
Okay, the thermometer underneath says negative 40 already.
We'll come back when it's done.
Okay, the freeze drying is complete. I'm gonna bypass the last few minutes so it doesn't cool down the trays. Open the drain valve and get them out.
With the freeze drying complete, I can pull the trays out and get ready to bag the blended oranges. I use a fan clipped to the door for defrosting.
I've got the first part of the bag already filled out. I've got which batch number it is for me, batch 486. There's eggs, they're raw, there's 5 of them with 75 grams of milk in it, and the date that it went into the freeze dryer. Plus, there's going to be 100 grams of peppers, onion, and mushroom mix in the bag. That's going to be a separate addition, and that's before it was dried. Then I have 450 grams total before it was dried. Then I'll write down what the after weight is and the amount of water needed to put back in. Okay, so each one of these bigger ones is 5 eggs plus the milk. The smaller ones, I need to put 2 of them together to make one set of the 5 eggs. So and all of them should be pretty close to the same because they all were from the same batch and ladled out. Okay. I'm going to get one of the blocks of eggs in here. I'm going to powder it and then put it into the little bags. Okay, so 72, just about 73 grams. All right. Boy, these crush amazingly easy. Ones that I did earlier that I just mixed up with a fork did not squish as easily as that.
You could use a blender or food processor to powder the food, but I don't like to because I don't want to give it any chance to draw moisture out of the air.
Okay, so yeah, the eggs are powdered. All right, so I'm going to do that with all of them. So it'll need 365 grams. And that's the last one of those. And now I need to portion out the vegetable mix that's going to be going in those bags. So tear that out. Oh, I need to see how much 10 grams is, so we know how big a bag. Here's the bag of peppers, onions, and mushrooms. Not very much. There's 200 grams of, it's about 175 grams of each. I kept them protected. Now I need 10 grams worth into each of these next bags. So I'm going to scoop up some and check to see how much it is. Oh, that's too much. So I need, like I said, 10 grams. And I'll keep this zipped up as much as possible. And so that's the portion that's going to go in with the scrambled egg mix. I could probably leave that here. So I want to see how that will fit in a snack bag. That should fit easily. So I'm going to put it in here just as a test, and I'm going to take it back out if that looks like it's going to work. Well, I'm going to try that out. So that's my plan. But to make sure that the oxygen can come out of that, I'm going to try something a little different. I'm going to take the little snack bag and put it on a stack of paper towels so it's cushioned below it. And I've got my little steak tenderizer stabber. It has a whole bunch of sharp blades. And I'm going to take the bag and just press real hard. And I assume by doing so, I'll have a bunch of small holes in it. So that's my plan. So take my 10 grams. I'm going to pour it back into here so I can dump it into the bag. Okay, so then I'm going to pour it in there. And then I'm going to seal it with the heat sealer. So I'm going to put a heat sealer stripe right across that. All right, so I sealed it across there. Now I can cut this part off. So now I have this little bag of vegetable mix that has lots of little holes in it, so it's not anywhere near airtight, but yet it'll keep all of these components separate from the eggs so that I can mix them in when I want to. Okay, so again I've got my eggs. Now I'm going to put this bag in it. All right. And then I'll be adding oxygen absorbers and then sealing it. I think that should work well. I'm going to let it cool for a few seconds, cut off the zipper portion of it, place that in the other bag. I'm going to add oxygen absorbers to all these and then heat seal them. I zippered them shut, so I'm going to have to open it a little bit. And I just need to open it enough to stuff the oxygen absorber in it. I'm going to set them down, squish out any extra air, zipper them shut.
Oh no!
Are ready to seal. I better move them out of the way so I can have a bit of room for sealing them. All right, those are all done, except I like to add one more piece of information on the bag, and that's the total gross weight, so I can know by putting it on a scale if there's any problem with that bag. So if I get a leaky bag, the weight's going to go up because moisture is going to get in. So I can put the weight of the whole gross weight of the bag on there. Now they're ready to put on the shelf or to take camping. Okay, so I've got all the information on it, what's in it, and what to do with it, or how much water anyway. So I've got the 50 large eggs. Nope. I've got the 50 large